And death and destruction continue in the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. Israel's relentless strikes are hitting hospitals, ambulances, shelters and homes. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts continue as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that there is no possibility of a truce at the moment. Well, in the latest, the death toll continues to mount in Gaza as the Israel army pounds site after site. In the latest attack on a UN-run school, 12 were killed. The compound was being used as a shelter by thousands displaced by the barrage of attacks by Israel. Like I mentioned, as Israel continues its strikes and it hit camps, schools, residential buildings, it has also struck a French cultural institute in Gaza. France has reacted to the Israeli strike with astonishment and incomprehension. France's foreign minister has demanded a full investigation into why the building was hit. France will meanwhile host an international humanitarian conference for the civilian population in Gaza on November 9th. This as it looks to coordinate aid for the besieged Palestinian territory. Meanwhile, Indonesia has released the first batch of humanitarian aid to Gaza that include food and medical supplies. The 51.5 tons of supplies is provided by the government and several humanitarian organizations in Indonesia. Israel says it has eliminated many militants in the last 24 hours. The Israeli army continues to release videos of their troops and tanks operating in Gaza, as well as monochrome footage of what it said were Israeli Air Force strikes on the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, continuing his diplomatic efforts, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has now arrived in Jordan after his visit to Israel as a part of his fresh West Asia tour amid the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. Blinken in Israel urged for a temporary stop or a pause to the military offensive in a bid to allow aid to enter Gaza. However, he faced pushback from Netanyahu, who rejected any such halt unless the hostages held by Hamas are freed. In Jordan, Blinken will be meeting 5 Arab foreign ministers. The foreign ministers of Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Qatar will meet Blinken in Amman later today. And while Blinken was speaking in Israel, Hezbollah chief broke his silence and spoke on the war for the first time. He outrightly called the October 7th Hamas attack, and I'm quoting here, exclusive Palestinian effort, and denied any Iran or Hezbollah involvement. He, however, warned that a wider conflict in West Asia is a realistic possibility if the attacks on Gaza continue, while he placed the responsibility of the ongoing war firmly on the United States of America.